à fond. Okay, we're back. Right. There's no way to boost the microphone.
I think so.
Maybe there. I remember there was some kind of mic boost option, but not in recent Windows versions. Okay, we're just gonna have to speak very loud, I guess. Let us know if you can hear us fine. Hopefully, yes.
Hello, someone.
Anyone? Yeah, there's more delay, so we don't know. You might want to stop the stream. Yes.
Yes. Somebody
Okay.
said yes.
Natak can hear us fine. Okay. Sounds fine to me. Okay.
Sound is fine. Oh, sounds fine.
Sounds fine. Sound is fine. Both.
Both.
I can talk like that if you want. Maybe not.
It's creepy.
Okay. So I guess everyone here knows what Superpowers is all about, but maybe we want to pass the link to the website, the chat. So we will be making a little demo, the three of us, and you can follow along and create your own project if you want. We will be using the latest assets by Pixelboy, which haven't been released just yet, but we will release them in the next few days, I guess. Yeah.
Features.
How do you say Krilla in English?
In Japanese, it's Kurelin.
Kurelin.
I don't know. It's
Dragon Ball.
translated in English.
Anyway.
We're gonna take this one.
Okay, he will be Pac-Man then.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, we are gonna be doing a Pac-Man clone because it's a cool concept, simple. It can be done in a couple hours.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you have questions, feel free to ask. We will be trying to explain as much as possible. Maybe we want to show how to create the project, just to get things started. Yeah. We are using the new application, which hasn't been released yet.
Yeah,
so
from the browser, maybe.
Yeah, it will look a little bit different on your side, but pretty much the same thing.
So we are gonna assume you know how to start Superpowers and you know how to get there. So then it's quite simple.
Just click on new project and type a name. My awesome Guy. Hey. And so yeah, you should have only one option, which is Superpowers game.
Yeah, two options.
All right. Yeah, you've got templates to help you get started, but we'll be using an empty project for this demo.
And then
Retroid, the Skype link should work, but it might take a while for the Skype group chat to load. That's part of the reason why we are switching to IRC. Let me just try. Yeah, it should work. It works in my browser at least.
soon you have the chat right in the app.
Yeah.
Very, very soon, hopefully. 2 weeks maybe.
You've got the stream that started up again. All right. So now our project is created, and I guess we should start by importing a character.
Yes.
So you can find the various assets packs on the website. Maybe we should put the link to.
Yes.
Superpowers. Yeah. You can download them from itch.io. Yeah, you click download and then you just keep giving us any monies because we.
Or maybe you can give if you want. That's up to
Up
you.
to you, yeah. And then you've got lots of asset packs. I would recommend using the Ninja Adventure asset pack, since the one we will be using is basically the second part of this asset pack.
This one improved with various parts.
So pick whatever characters you want. So we will be using Krillin. I don't know how you say it. Krillin. My Japanese is even worse than my English. So.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, very bad.
Okay. So maybe I should just tell you there is the button there to upload or import an image, texture for sprites. So
that's the one, I think. Yeah. And so once you've imported it, you can see the bottom pane as a preview, and right now your character is the full grid of frames. So we want to set up the grid size correctly. You can use the setup button. And so we've got 4 frames on the first row, and we've got, I don't know how many, 7, 8 maybe? 8. Oh, no, okay.
Nice.
8.
no.
Well done. Nope. 7. Okay. So 4 by 7. And if you set everything correctly, you should see just the first frame of your character on screen.
It's fun.
Yeah. So the top pane is like your full sprite sheet, and the bottom pane is for previewing animations, basically.
Yeah.
It seems we're doing better with dropped frames right now, so if you have any issues with the live stream, it's probably on your end.
Yes.
Kuririn. His name is Kuririn, even in English? Okay.
Yeah, I think they
They use Japanese names?
yeah, it's more it's closer than French. Because
do I remember correctly that all the names are just vegetables?
the science thing.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
because Vegeta is just a vegetable.
Yeah, Raditz.
Raditz is
Yeah. Carrot, it's a carrot.
Carrots. Okay, yeah, that's pretty stupid.
And then freezer, it's not a vegetable, but it's a freezer.
Mm. Oh yeah, freezer to keep your vegetables for later consumption.
Yes, exactly.
Alright. Okay.
So
yeah, we should create an animation. So the animations, you've got idle, walk. I don't know what we will be using for the game.
do you have
Probably just walk.
just walk? Yeah.
Yeah, I think idle is just the first frame. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So
Alpha test is 0.1 on default. What does 0.1 mean? So Bilou is on his computer. He's on French. His Windows is running the French version of Windows. So in French we separate the fraction of a number with a comma, but on an English computer you'd see a dot. So that's just the default value in French. I love it.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got a little issue, which is that by default Superpowers does frames from left to right. Left to right, yeah. And we want to use frames vertically, so you can change the frame order to use not rows but columns. Love it. Okay, so we will be needing mostly a walk animation in the 4 cardinal directions. So up, down, left, right. You can set up the idle animation too, but I don't know. Maybe we will use it. We'll see. Hello, Juliette. How are you?
Yeah. I'm gonna say we don't need it.
Yeah. Okay.
I will create it
So the first 4 frames should be enough. Oh yeah, you should move the webcam to the left, or maybe to the top right corner. I don't know. Maybe make it a little smaller too.
Maybe just there.
Perfect. Yeah.
This corner
Okay.
is
I think. Okay. Is there a way to make it play frame 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1? Nope. Currently, you can only input start and end frames. So if you had some weird animation, you'd need to duplicate the frames at the moment.
Yeah.
It's something that might change later. Like maybe we should have 2 modes for when setting up an animation. But right now, only start and end frame. Yeah. Maybe we should explain the 3 fields here. So the first one is the start frame, the second one is the end frame index, and the last one lets you change the playback speed.
Yes.
So the default playback speed, yeah, so. Yeah, and of course fractions work too. Okay, so now we've got our sprite, let's set up a scene maybe.
I'm gonna make this one. So, in the scene, it's the place where we set up the game actually. We have a concept of actor, which usually is called game object.
Yeah.
But we choose actor because we like the metaphor of the theater with the scene, the set of the game. You have actor, camera.
You're the director, and you've got actors and cameramen and so on.
I thought it was clever, but maybe it's not. We don't know.
Even in English, you are sick. Yeah. I don't know why I'm still sick in English. Makes no sense. Good idea to use the old-fashioned way. Since they don't have the last version.
So there's a player.
So you make sure your player actor is located in 0, 0, 0 on all 3 axes. So the 3 fields are X, Y, and Z, and you should have your player in the center of the scene. So to add him into the scene, first you create an actor, and once you have the actor, you can click on New Component, which lets you, let's maybe do it again. New Component lets you select from various types of components, and the one we want is Sprite Render, which lets you render sprites. So pretty straightforward. And then you can drag and drop the sprite from the left side of the window into the sprite field, or you can type up the name. It's entirely up to you.
So now let's place a camera.
Yeah, very important. You won't see anything if you have no camera. Make sure to set one up. So just like for the player, we want to add a component, but this time we will be adding a camera component. Where is add actor? Okay, no problem. So yeah, the star with the plus inside of it. You need to be in the scene editor, so make sure you created a scene, and double click on it to open it, and then you'll have a star button in the top right corner. Don't hesitate to ask questions. There's really no problem, and yeah, I mean, we might be going a little fast sometimes because we are very used to the tool, but if you're new, feel free to ask. Alright, so cameras by default are in perspective mode, which is probably not what we want for a 2D game. Perspective means objects that are farther away from the camera will appear smaller, which is not what you want in a 2D game most of the time. So you can change the mode of the camera to orthographic, and you will see that what is called the camera's frustum, which is basically the boundaries of the camera's point of view, will change from pyramid-like shape to more like a square shape. Alright, So orthographic scale, maybe we should set that up too. Do we want to reuse the official Pac-Man level design? Maybe.
I don't know. Sure.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So we should look it up online to see how many tiles we'll have. I think that's the one. Oh yeah. The one thing with the maybe add grid to your search or something like that, because the tiles are a bit weird, and we probably want to have a grid to help us out. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So maybe you can open up the image in full and paste it in the chat for others. Yes. Hello, Jonas. How are you? Welcome. Okay, so how many tiles? 1, 2, 3.
36.
36, yes, sounds good. And horizontally, I think it's 28, but I'm not sure.
Correct. Sir.
From memory. Right. Okay, so 26 by 28. 36 by 28. Okay. So the sprites, no, not the sprites, the tiles. Yeah, the size don't matter. We probably just want to use 36 as our orthographic scale. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So the orthographic scale lets you define how many vertical units your camera should cover. So if you yeah, okay, you can see the viewport is getting bigger. So we will type in 36, and the horizontal size will be determined by the game ratio, the screen ratio. We will define later.
We should set the pixels per unit of the sprite.
Right.
The size, so
yeah.
it takes one tile.
One unit, one scene unit for the character.
So I can show you.
Right now it looks very small. Yeah.
Come on. Where are you?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's too big. Yeah. No problem. It's just.
Yeah. Okay. So
if you move the.
Gonna switch to
the mode. Yeah. So right now you can see the character seems very, very small compared to the camera, and if you update the pixels per unit settings, you're basically saying 16 pixels from the texture should be equal to 1 unit in the scene, and so the character will look bigger in the scene. And since we've got 36 units vertically, we want the character to use 1 unit. It matches with the size of the level. That should do it. We should probably change the default settings too in the project. So in the bottom left corner, which you might see here, okay, you've got a settings button that you can click on, and if you scroll down a bit, you can find sprite pixels per unit, and you should input 16 in there. That way, when we import other sprites later, they will reuse exactly the same pixels per unit. And we should do the same for the tile maps, which are below, I think. Yeah. So we will be using a tile map for the level itself. So yeah, you can put 16 pixels per unit and for the tileset grid size 16 and 16. If you don't do it, you will have to do it for every level we create. We might make several, we'll see. So, all right, and I thought you changed the default camera mode. So yeah, it just lets you switch to 2D mode right away when we open a new scene. So right now, if you close the scene and reopen it, we will be in 2D mode. Okay, we are very close to being able to launch our game for the first time. Two things to check. Does it auto-save or do you save manually? Everything is saved automatically since you are communicating with a local server. And so even if your client crashes, the server might still be running, which is pretty cool. Like if your browser crashes, if you're using Superpowers in the browser, your server would still be running. So you are very unlikely to lose anything. And I think the server writes on the disk every 60 seconds or something like that. Yeah. Okay, so last thing, make sure that your camera's Z position or Z position, depends if you're in Australia or in the United States. It should be positive and something like 10 or 20. Basically, maybe you can show it in 3D. If you put the camera like in 0, your sprite and the camera's bounding box or viewpoint won't intersect, and so the character won't appear. And if you put it even further in negative, it will be even worse. So you need to make sure that the camera is in front of the character. Okay. My camera ended up a child of the actor. So you can reparent any actor by just dragging it wherever you like. So yeah, you can just grab your camera and drag down a bit and release the mouse button. Yeah, you should make sure that the camera isn't parented to the player. Otherwise, when you move the player, the camera will follow along, and we don't want that in a Pac-Man game. Okay, so the last thing we need to do before launching the game is set up the startup scene, because you will have several scenes in your project. So you want the first scene, the one scene we have right now, to be set up as a startup scene. And you can drag and drop, or you can just type up whatever name you entered for the scene. And with that, we should be able to just launch the game. To launch the game, you can click on the little arrow in the top left corner, or just press F5. Okay, and you should see I can't remember his fucking name in Japanese. Kuririn, okay. You should see Kuririn or whatever character you have in the center of the screen.
It's a game!
Yay! Woo! Alright. Everybody go home. It's over. We've done good work. Okay, so tell us in the chat if it works for you, if you have any issues. We'll wait for a few people to answer, and then we will move on. It works. He's even walking. Oh, so you set up an animation already. Okay, so yeah, that's something you can do. The sprite render component lets you define a starting animation. The camera settings, yeah. So orthographic mode and scale should be 36, and everything else you can leave by default. Maybe we should also show its camera's position 0, 0, and 10.
And so we were saying,
yeah,
you can set up an animation on the sprite, which will be started when the game starts. So
this is, yeah, it's pretty useful if you have like scenery stuff, like I don't know, maybe you have a torch in a game which you want to see burning, and you don't want to have to add some scripting just for that. So you can use it. It doesn't necessarily make sense in this case, but yeah. Did you change the pixels per unit of the sprite? Yes, we put it to 16 as all others. And there you go. He's walking. He seems very small to me, but yeah, I guess Pac-Man is a very vertical game.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Yeah, it's alright. We'll deal with it. Yeah. It's very tall. Mm-hmm.
And the original character is only 8 pixels, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty small. Yeah. Alright, so now we should probably get started on our level.
Yeah.
So, first of all, before creating the level itself, we need to import a tile set.
Yes.
Which is basically like a sprite sheet, but you'll be using every tile to build your level. And tile sets can be reused across several maps. So we'll be creating just one tile set, but we might have several maps later on. Okay. So you use the little plus button in the top left corner and then select tile set. And here we go. Do we have a tile set that might fit? Hopefully yes.
We have only one, I think.
Yeah. You did. You extended the original tile set. Okay. So snow or grass. I don't know.
Maybe stuff there.
Or maybe something inside like this.
Yeah.
Better.
Yeah. Yeah. This way we can create the same sort of. Although, yeah, can you just open it up? Do we have like? Oh yeah, regular corners. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think we have everything we need. Good. All right. So you should have this tile set in the Ninja Adventure Pack with a few less variants, but you should have basically the same layout as we do. So this should do fine for everyone. Yeah, indoor and outdoor in the Adventure Pack. So take your pick. I would say you're probably better off with the indoor tile set. All right. So click the upload button, obviously, and in background elements. Right. So if you did like we did earlier, you should have your grid size, which is already set up correctly, 16 by 16. Otherwise, make sure to set it up. I think the default is 40 by 40.
Yes.
So yeah, you'll need to update it to 16 by 16. And yeah. Okay, there's a lot of shit in that tile set. Cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's make an RPG.
No. We did that already.
Do we have a coin? Yeah?
Yes.
There's one? Okay, cool. Not in the tile set, maybe? Yeah, okay. Okay, if, it's great. Oh, maybe we should add it to the tile set. I don't know. Like, we don't want to create objects for each coin, or do we?
Is it animated?
There's no animation? No.
Just. Where is it?
But it could be fun if it's a little animated. I don't know. Maybe you can make a bigger one with an animation that rotates. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Oh right. Do we have ghosts? Or something?
We have stuff.
We have some monster. Oh yeah. This will do fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We can use several different monsters.
Yeah.
Should look fun. Alright.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess by now everyone has got their tile set up, and now we can go ahead and create a tile map. Okay, anything in the chat? How do I pan the grid view in and out and over? Okay, so the mouse wheel and the middle mouse button will do that. So you just hold down the middle mouse button and you can scroll around, and with scroll up and scroll down you can zoom in and out.
If you have some question, you might want to take a look at the documentation,
Which you can't see.
yes, right there.
I think you can leave the webcam over here because we won't have that many assets. Well, it should.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you have only 2 sections for now, but it explains the control. So
Yeah, we should have mentioned that. That's one thing I completely forgot. But you can move around with WASD,
yes,
etc. Yes, yeah, just check out the documentation. Shouldn't be too hard. I think this is wrong. Yeah, the tile map size is
right.
inverted.
Yes.
So yeah, you should put 28 in the width and 36 at the 8. And if you've already created your tile map, just like us, you'll need to click resize. We should have a single pop-up for this rather than 2 at some point. Alright. Anyway. Okay, so now we need to set up our tile set. Just drag it from the left into the tile set field. And things might get a lot smaller because the grid size will be initialized at that point. Yeah. Okay, well, let's go ahead and rebuild the Pac-Man world, Pac-Man level.
It's the same. It's no fun.
You can do another one later.
Okay.
But yeah, I think, yeah, I don't know. At least it works well.
Okay. So, can I see everything, please?
Yes, looks like you can. Okay. So which color do we pick? I would go with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go. So, is there a full black somewhere? No.
But I think you can use just the floor, maybe floor tiles.
I was thinking for there, but maybe we can just
yeah. We might need to edit the tile set later on. Okay.
Yes.
All right, we've got a line tool. That's pretty cool. Okay.
I love it. Just do.
Yeah. It's because they use the 3 top row for score and stuff like that, and at the bottom there's just nothing. No.
Yeah. Okay.
What was that again? Not sure what you're talking about. Hurt notes. That's 12, I think. So it should be the 14th. Yeah,
Yes.
that's 12 coins. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna help you out. Is your server open?
Yes. On 8,000 volts.
I need the password.
Like usual.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay. Found it.
You do the bottom.
Yeah, okay. So Superpowers is a real-time collaborative editor, so we can work together.
And that's cool.
That's pretty cool.
So.
Okay, yeah, do the bottom like
Yeah,
we
okay.
said.
The bottom is there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's what we got this guy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, how can we do this part? Can we do this part?
Yeah, I don't know if we have all the tiles we need,
I'm
but
not sure.
maybe.
Can do like that. It's good. Not very pretty, but well.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Indeed.
And there should be maybe this one.
Actually, the tiles are right there.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That looks better.
So should I? Yeah, maybe I should. Oh, God. Stupid mouse. Should use this one instead.
The map is symmetric. Is there a way to copy, paste, and rotate on the y-axis? There actually is a way.
Man,
Yeah.
that's clever.
But yeah. Yeah, we could. So you can. I think the shortcuts are all listed in the documentation section.
So duplicate.
Yeah, and then H for vertical flip, I think. Yep. And so we could do that.
I will do that, no?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's make only the left part
Yes,
of the map, and then you can use the selection tool.
Thank you. I love you.
Saving us times. Alright. Yeah. There's no bottom tile. Alright. Yeah. Oh no, I can't find a bottom tile. What the hell? Like this one has a corner, this one has a corner too, this one has a corner here.
Yeah, just take this one and you can rotate it.
Oh right, yeah. Well, anyway, I'll probably just be using the one in the center. Yeah, it will be simpler. Alright.
Remember, you can use right click to pick a block.
Yeah.
Very useful.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3. Wrong. We should have some music while we're doing this.
That's right. Keep tune, go!
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is there a tile for this one though? Yes, there is. Okay.
Like that, I think.
Okay. We're getting there. What's left? Oh shit. That's wrong. One, how many? 2.
This is the coin.
It's just floor, but should I not put it? I thought maybe we want to put the coin on a different layer, but actually we're gonna need to have like a layer behind for the floor because the corners don't have the floor itself. So I don't know. Maybe I'll remove this for now, and we can put the floor on a layer under everywhere.
Maybe we will leave it black because.
Oh yeah, maybe it looks good enough. You're right. Almost done. Alright.
Okay.
So
D to duplicate and then
H
to flip.
Did something not flip correctly at the top? Like looks wrong. That's very, very weird.
There.
Oh yeah. Looks like there's a bug. Maybe try doing the selection again. I don't know.
Okay.
It's all wrong. What's going on? Maybe because you were already flipped the first time or something. Maybe if you just close and open up the editor again, it will be fixed. I think maybe it's storing the flip direction or something. Okay, well that's a bug.
Too many windows.
Yeah. D and then H.
Looks good so far.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so it works the first time and then it get confused. Okay, we will fix this at some point. If you get the bug too, you can just close and reopen the tilemap editor. Is there a selection area tool? Yeah, you've got a selection button. We need to replace those buttons with the new look we've got here. That will be better.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you've got brush, fill, which is fill bucket, which is pretty useful too, and then erase selection and eraser. All right, so we've got our basic map, I guess. I think we can use that just as the collision map, since there's nothing else but collision tiles. So anything that is different from the transparent tile would be considered solid.
Yes.
And then we can have a second layer. So yeah, for the coins, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey Nadex, we're working on a Pac-man, Pac-man-like clone. Hey Noxy.
I'm in Strasbourg just for 2 days.
Yeah.
I'm leaving for good on Saturday.
Sad.
Yes,
sad.
I've been traveling for 2 days.
Yeah, he went down and up all the way through France.
8 hours today, 6 hours today. In the car.
You've got the camera in the middle of the window. I don't know if it's been a while, but...
Told you, we had to put it back down.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Wait for it.
Okay.
So, yes, coins.
Yes. So do we have something that at least looks a bit like a coin that we could use as placeholder? Yeah. Yeah. This looks good enough. So the idea is we will put the coins in on their own layer. So make sure to create a layer named coins, like we did, and then you can put coins everywhere you want them. And later on we will replace them with actual animated actors. Oh yeah, no, it doesn't work because it's another layer. Yeah, that was pretty clever idea.
Almost clever.
Yeah, almost clever. yeah, Bilou needs Noxy to tell him where to place the camera.
It's all his effort.
Of course.
Yeah.
Alright. So there are no coins in the center square. And there are no coins on the walls. I could be helping you out instead of criticizing.
It's okay.
This is more fun, actually.
It's almost over.
Yeah. Glad I could help.
Thanks, buddy.
I basically did all the work, but yeah.
Yeah, fill. There is a fill tool.
To trace a line, you can press Shift. Just hold it down and.
Is it already in the last release version?
I'm not sure. It's in
sure.
Version 0. What's the last one? 19. I don't think. I'm not sure.
Maybe yes. If it is, it's you just.
You're in film mode, yeah. Click once and then
Shift. It will.
It only does straight lines for now. Yeah. But
it was like, I will do it tomorrow, but it was 2 months ago. yeah, like usual.
We've been busy. I think we should have an option to fill tiles from another layer for the empty tile. Yeah, there should be like an option to say fill, but take into account all layers or only the current one. Okay, so it's actually in the current version.
It is okay. And thank you for the tiles.
Missing some code in the top layer.
Just fix it.
Okay. Alright, so it looks like Pac-Man, which is pretty good. So if you are not done, maybe you can go back to finishing up later. We will be moving forward with the scene, putting the time map in the scene.
Let's go.
Okay. So back in the scene editor, you can just double click on your scene on the left to open it. And you should make sure that you have nothing selected, otherwise when we create a new actor it will be parented to your currently selected actor. And so I guess we can call it map, yeah. And so we've got one actor just for the map itself. And we will put it in 0, 0, but maybe on the Z axis we should move it back by 1.
We'll have to move it as well. But, or maybe we should move the camera?
Or just the player, one
The map is attached by the...
Oh, right. Okay. Let's take a look. Okay. So you can insert a new component, name the tile map renderer, and drag and drop your tile map. Make sure to take the tile map, not the tile set. And as you can see, the map is attached. That's what we were saying just a few seconds ago. Yeah. It's attached by its lower left corner. I think it's best to keep the map in 0, 0, 0. So we will move everything else accordingly. So I think the character should be right here. Yeah, in the middle. Actually, it starts off center. Exactly in the center. We should probably attach the character by its bottom left corner too, so that we have round numbers.
Yes.
Okay. So if you go back in the sprite editor, you can see that there's a big cross which represents the origin of the sprite. Okay. And what we want to do is use the same origin that each tile has. So you can just change the percentage and put 0 and 0. And you should see the cross appear in the bottom left corner of your character. And this will make things simpler when we deal with coordinates later on. Okay. Okay. Let us know if we're moving too fast. We can slow down or explain things again. There's no problem. So right now the character appears behind the map. So we want to moving one on the z-axis. Two, yeah, or maybe even 3 because like, oh no, yeah, okay, this is enough. Never mind. So if we go to 3D mode, you can see that each layer has actually a different depth in the 3D scene. This can be controlled in the tile map editor. If you want, you can change the depth offset. So if we put like 2, then there will be 2 units of spaces between each layer, but we want to keep 1, I think. All right, and so we want to have the background layer on z equals 0, and then the coins on z equal 1, and then the character on z equal 2. That should do it. Right.
So we also have to move the camera to see the...
Yes.
So already
well, 14 by 18 should be good. Yep, looks good. Let's run the game again, maybe.
Try.
Okay, well, looks like it should.
Yep.
One thing we should be doing is setting up the screen ratio in the settings.
Yes.
So by default, there's no screen ratio defined. So if you resize stuff, oh, is that the minimum window size? Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so it will be. It's hard to show with a very vertical game, but basically, it might crop stuff. Yeah, okay. If you show it in the browser, that should help. If you don't set up a screen ratio, then you might crop stuff in the other direction. Like so. So this is not what we want. We would want the game to always fit within the game window, and in order to do that, we should go in the settings, which are hidden by the camera. But by now you know where they are.
Right
so.
there.
Just on Bilu's face. You click on Bilu's face, and it should be good. And in the screen ratio, you want to enter the size of the level, basically.
Yes.
So yeah, that should be good. And now, if we launch the game again in the browser,
Yes.
we should be able to see that it no longer looks weird. See, the whole level is automatically fit into the window. So those 2D games still require WebGL, or do they work with Canvas as well? It's all done with 3GS with WebGL render, so it always requires WebGL. But the thing you should understand about Superpowers is that there can be any number of types of projects. So right now the project type we're using is called Superpowers Game, and it's based on 3GS. But you could use another project type which might use maybe the Canvas 2D API instead. So like right here we've got Superpowers Web, which is a different type of project, and this one lets you make I don't know if you've got one. Lets you make a website with JAD and Stylus. And so we could have a project type that uses, I don't know, Phaser.js, for instance, or maybe the Canvas 2D API right away, or whatever. Okay. We already have Superpowers Love, which is, I don't know, you don't have it installed, but maybe you can show just a GIF.
I think it's just disabled. So.
Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. But maybe a GIF is fine. on the GitHub page. Okay, I think there's one at the bottom. So this is another project type in Superpowers, and it uses Lua with the Love 2D framework. And so when you launch the game, it actually starts Love 2D right away instead of launching in the browser or doing anything. So Superpowers is really a completely extensible platform, and you can use it to make games with any framework, any engine, which you can integrate into it, or even make other stuff than games, like websites, slideshows, books, movies, whatever. Right now we have spent a lot of time working on the main project type, which is Superpowers game, but we want to make a lot of other project types in the future. Okay. What button launches the game in the browser?
You have to access your project.
Oh, right, yeah.
In the browser.
We should probably have a button in the app that lets you run the game in the browser directly. Yeah. So you need to access localhost and then a colon, or or whatever your server's local IP is. Most of the time it should be 127.0.0.1, and then the port is 4237.
Yeah, very good.
It's always a lot of fun to say numbers in English when you are not a native speaker.
Right.
Okay. Maybe you can just pass the. I'll do it. If you open up. Yeah, most of the time, even for 2D games, it's a good idea to use WebGL because you'll get better performance. Although they have been working pretty hard to improve it. And like for instance, I've got a game which is Daily Frenzy, which is entirely Canvas 2D based with geometrical forms and stuff. And a few years ago it was a bit laggy for me, and with the latest Chrome and Firefox now it's pretty snappy. Where is WebGL setting? Not sure what you mean by that. Like I said, all games will use WebGL. So if it's disabled in your project, in your browser, I mean, you might need to update your drivers or something like that. Yeah. I mean, nowadays, I don't know the numbers for sure, but most people can run WebGL content pretty well. Yeah, Daily Frenzy is pretty hardcore. It's yeah. Oh yeah, and the levels are randomly generated. So every day you'll get a different level, and sometimes the level starts very hard. Oh yeah, you're doing fine. Shit. So you just click once in Daily Frenzy, and then your mouse becomes the little ball, and you have to scroll through the labyrinth. I think there are two musics at the same time.
Yep. Anyway,
it's not too bad. Are there plans to support tile map item in Love 2D? Yes. At some point, definitely. Something we want to have. You're pretty good, honestly. I would have died already. Okay, so I think the remainder of the stream will be below, just crushing everyone.
Oh, shit! Okay, back to work.
Something must be wrong with it in Firefox. I click and it just slams into a wall immediately. Maybe there's a little bit of lag right when you click. On older computers, I've noticed this. So I don't know. Anyway, we can always do some daily frenzy debugging later. Let's focus on our game right now. Okay, so I think it's time to start moving around.
I wanna move.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can lower the music volume a bit. I don't know how it is for them, but yeah, for us it's allowed. Okay, so how do we make stuff move, Bilou? I don't remember.
Know.
Can someone tell us?
Mr. Programmer.
Okay, so we need to create a script. Superpowers use TypeScript for scripting, which is a little a variant of JavaScript. Yeah. So it should be pretty simple to pick up if you already know about JavaScript. Okay, so when you create the script, make sure to enter some sort of name like player behavior, or behavior is fine, but just something that makes sense. And yeah, and if you rename the class at the top, you must make sure to rename the same thing at the bottom, which you won't see my finger, but anyway. Okay, so this is a basic behavior. A behavior is just another type of component that you can put on an actor, and it will be applied to it, and it's basically like if we go back to the director metaphor, you are distributing parts in your movie to the various actors, and so a part or a behavior is defined by two main functions. The first one is called awake, and it is called once when the game starts, or rather when the actor enters the stage. And so you can put any initialization logic you want into this function, and in the update function you can put any logic that will be ongoing while the game runs. So it will be called 60 times a second, and whatever you do will be repeated on and on and on. Okay, so right now what we want to do, we don't have any initialization logic right now, but we want to move things a bit. Let's start very simple with just, I would say maybe no condition at all, just let's move our actor. So this represents our current behavior, and using a dot, we can access various properties of our behavior, and one of the properties of our behavior is the actor itself, the actor on which the behavior is currently attached. So this dot actor means the current actor, and then with another dot, we can access other properties of the actor, which one of them is move x, which lets you move the actor on the x-axis, and then between the parentheses, we can specify how many units we want to move. So you have to remember that this will be executed 60 times a second. So if you use 0.1 times 60, you will move 6 units per second, which is already quite a lot. So this is fine, but if you put 1, your character will just zip out of the stage, and you won't see it for very long. So once you're done with this, make sure to click Apply Changes. So although your changes are saved automatically, they aren't applied right away. The reason for this is because if one of your friends who's working with you launches the game while you're in the middle of writing a line, it would just break the game. So you have to explicitly click on Apply Change to apply them, or you can just use the Control S shortcut, which is probably a good idea in the long term. Okay, so now we've got our behavior, and we still need to put it in the scene. Got an error after renaming. Okay, yeah. So you showed you need to rename both places here, and that should be good. Let us know if it's not working yet. Okay, So you want to select well the player, and it's just another component of type behavior. And you can select which one. So you need to select the correct behavior. There's only one right now, which is the player behavior. And yes, I think that's all we need to do.
Let's see.
Yay! Woo! Come back! Come back! Okay, so we've got something that moves, which is pretty cool, but we probably
It's alive!
Yeah, it's alive, yeah. Sort of. So next we want to only move it when some condition is true, when something is happening. So we can use if, and then we've got several functions that are built-in superpowers, and most of them are within the sup namespace. So you want to type sup as in superpowers, not sup as in what's up. Anyway, in the input module, you've got everything that relates to keyboard input, mouse input, gamepad, etc. And we want to check if a key is currently down. So is key down sounds pretty good. It's funny because we've done these workshops many times, but always in French. So I feel like I must explain a lot of stuff, like what does is key down mean. But it's obvious for someone who speaks English. Yeah. So it's kind of fun. Anyway. So you can make sure to open and close the same number of parentheses as we have, and you should put curly brackets at the end of the line, and everything between the opening and closing curly brackets will be affected by the condition. So 60 times a second we will check whether the right arrow key is currently down, and if it is, we will be moving to the right, which makes sense. And now set Control S, and you can launch stuff. So it's not Java. It looks a lot like Java, but it's actually TypeScript. All right. So our character, maybe we can put it full screen. Yeah. Our character is not moving because right is not down, and when Bilou presses the right arrow key, you can see it move. Pretty good. Woo! Okay. Yeah. It's not very important, but Java and JavaScript are two different languages. And yeah, TypeScript looks a lot like ECMAScript 6 because it's actually a subset of ECMAScript 6. So basically, you got exactly the same stuff, but you can have type annotations, and the compiler is running in the background, so you get very cool stuff like auto-completion and type checking everywhere. So if I try to send a string as an argument to a function that expects a number, I will get a nice error that I can click on and all. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Their goal is to track ECMAScript over time, so to keep being a superset. Not I said a subset, but I mean a superset of ECMAScript 6. All right. So yeah, we can duplicate the condition and add another one for left. So what's the issue there?
Maybe you didn't attach the script to your actor in the scene.
Yeah, that must be it.
Once you have defined the behavior, you must tell which actor should
use it.
Yes. So it's a component of behavior type, and then you have to select the class, the behavior, whatever the part for the actor.
Superpowers could be a nice tool to learn programming. Well, I think it is. We actually did a full week of workshops on the other side of France a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and we had students from age I'd say 13 to 20, 21,
Yeah.
10 of them, and they all came, or like 80% of them had never used a programming language or anything, and at the end of the week they all knew at least how a game is made, and they understood conditions and variables at least on a basic level, and they were able to make some cool stuff. It was really cool. I would love to see Superpowers be used a lot more in schools and stuff like that, but yeah, it's we spent a full week doing those workshops, and it was exhausting. And yeah, that looks good. Hot not. It's still not working. Did you save your script? Did you press apply changes? In the script editor, you need to make sure to apply your changes.
Right there. It's a contest.
Maybe, yeah. Coughing contest. Maybe I don't know. If you're running the game in the browser, make sure to click on the arrow again, and don't just reload the game in its own window. Otherwise, you will be reloading the old version of the game. You need to make sure to run the latest build. But that should do it. Maybe let's double check the script another time. This one, yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it should be good, and if you saved and then attached it in the correct same, it should it should work. Behavior, player behavior, and then launch the game. I'm not sure what might be going wrong. Yeah, this is okay. What maybe? Do you see the game when you launch it? Like, do you see the scene is loaded and it appears correctly? The camera is good. Oh, this looks like there's some errors with. The number of curly brackets.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so you've got some errors at the bottom. I thought it looked good. Yeah, it looks good here. In the screenshot you posted, the number of curly brackets is good, but then maybe you changed it. Can you maybe copy and paste the full script? Can you copy and paste the full script in like a paste bin or something like that? It's a good idea to like align stuff the same way we do. So it's called indentation, and it means that every time you open a block with a curly bracket, you move everything inside it by a couple of spaces, like so. And that helps a lot with checking whether you have the right number of curly braces. Yeah, okay, so right now you are missing one. You need to add one just before the last one you have. Because if you count them up, you can see there's one that is open. Maybe you can show it. You have one that is open for the update, then a second one is open for, or rather, you have one that is open at the top for the class itself. Then you've got one open for awake, and then we close it again, so we're back to one. Then you open another one for update. You open another one for the right, then you close it. And you open another one for left, you close it, then you close it one, and you're still left with one open.
I think it's good.
Okay, all right. So let's move on. So we can move left and right, and then we can just copy paste this for up and down. And so obviously you will want to use move Y instead of move X. Would be really cool if you guys integrated Atom into Superpowers as a text editor. So we can't really do that because Atom is a full-blown app, but Superpowers uses Code Mirror, which is a text editor component which is pretty powerful, and there can be plugins that can be added to it. Right now we don't have some easy way to do it, but in the future you will be able to choose which theme you want to use. I don't know what else, whether you want tabs or spaces or all sorts of options. So it won't be quite Atom, but it will be pretty close. Okay, so this should work. So now we can move around, but obviously there's no collision at all. So probably nothing is working right now. Yes, the behavior looks good. I really don't know what's going on, but it should be working. Maybe we can maybe we can help you out later on after the stream. But right now we should probably try and move on.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, if feel free to ask more questions, obviously, but I don't know. Something must have slipped by, but I don't know why. Oh yeah, that's a good idea in attack. You should check for errors. You can press F12 when you're in the game. I think we don't have the right window focused. So when you have the game launched, just press F12 and look in the console tab. You might be able to see some errors maybe. A button to open. Alright, yeah. So Jojo, the thing about opening files in a local text editor is that Superpowers is real-time collaborative. So if you open a script in a local editor, someone could be making changes to the script while you are working on it in your own editor. One thing we could do is to lock the script while you have it open in your local editor, so that nobody else can change it. And then when you save, we detect the change and we send back the change to the server. We could do that. I don't know if it's something that would be, well, yeah. I mean, for some people it could be useful. It's something we should consider. Because some people will want to use the tile map editor, the sprite editor, and so on, but we want to use their own text editor. So maybe we should have something like that at some point. All right. So now we would like to have some collisions, obviously, because we don't want to be moving through walls. There's that, and the other stuff. The other thing we want, since it's a Pac-Man game, we want our character to keep moving in the last direction we pressed. So I think maybe we should start with that, because it's pretty simple, and then it leads to implementing collisions. So we should have some kind of variable to store the last pressed direction, so maybe just direction. And we can do, I mean, maybe a string is a simple. Maybe you can have a default direction. No, I think when you start Pac-Man, it doesn't move at all.
Yeah, I see. So.
But it might be actually going down, but it can't go down. And it will be looking down, so we should probably initialize it to down. I think I would put it in lowercase because those are key constant, and maybe just so that people don't confuse them, we can just put them.
Maybe to use the same stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe like that.
Okay.
So we have the same.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This will be useful for the animation. Okay. Alright, so this is a variable, okay, and it's actually a member variable, which means that it is attached to your behavior, and it will keep its value as long as your behavior exists, and so you can access it through this dot direction inside the various functions. Okay. Is there a quick way to add WASD and numpad to keep rest code without copy pasta? You could do it like so. You could just copy paste this and do so. Right would be D, and the operator for OR is the pipe character twice. So oh yeah, I don't know what kind of keyboard you have, but it's pipe character. It's different on QWERTY and AZERTY keyboard. But, okay, so you could just do that for the various directions. We won't do it right now, but. Is there a way to boost compiling speeds? Every time I launch a game, it takes a solid 5 to 10 seconds to build and run the script, which can get a bit boring. Alright, yeah, the TypeScript scripts are compiled into JavaScript, and right now they are compiled every time the game is launched, which is a bit slow sometimes, depends on your computer obviously. The goal is at some point to do the TypeScript compilation server side when the build is created, so that you don't pay the cost every time, and we would only maybe recompile stuff that changed or something like that. So yeah, but I mean it's weird that it would take 5 seconds because like it's pretty fast here, and on my computer, which is much older too, it's pretty fast still. So I don't know why it's so slow on your end, but it shouldn't be. Alright, so we've got our direction, and so basically what you want to do is we want to remove the various move calls and replace them with just an update to the direction of our character, like so. And so this is just a string of characters that we store, and it won't do anything for now, but we will use it further down to do other stuff. Yeah, I think we can remove the lines altogether.
Should be was key just press them, just the switch on the press.
Right. So I need to think a little bit about it, because actually in Pac-Man, if you press a direction just like, let's say you're going left, okay, and you try to press down, but there is a wall down, then your character will keep going left. So basically we need to have two types of direction. We need to have the actual direction and the desired direction. Okay, and it should always try to like it should look at the desired direction, and as soon as it's possible it should change it, but not before. But yeah, I think that doesn't change your point that we can use was key just pressed rather than is key down. Is key down returns true all the time, like as long as the key is pressed, while was key just pressed only returns true for the very frame that we pressed it on. We can do it. Yeah. And then we'll have two variables like direction and walk direction or something like that. Is there a roadmap for planned updates, or is it more of a whenever type of schedule? Good job on the engine, by the way. You guys are doing great. Thank you so much. So there is a roadmap which is very high level. I think it's in the documentation. Yeah. Below will show you. So this is the French version of the website because we are Frenchmen. But so you've got a roadmap at the bottom of the documentation, and basically what we have is Superpowers version 1.0. Superpowers 1.0, which is the redesign of the app. It's coming soon, in a few weeks, let's say, and then we will be working some more on various stuff like proper authentication. Right now it's a global server password, which is not great. Some improvement to plugin system and so on. And then we've got many things we want to do with the various project types, but we tend to just create issues for them on GitHub on each project. Maybe I can show. So for instance, Superpowers /Superpowers. So we've got both bugs and tasks listed here. So like enhancements, yeah, okay. And there's no set timeline for them. Like we do them whenever we feel like it's the good time, and we are accepting pull requests. That's a hard one to say, from the community. So there's documentation on how to contribute to the project, and so yeah, there's basically we are focused on finishing the new app, and then we will be working mostly, I think, on experimenting with a new system that will expose 3GS more directly, because right now we have to maintain the editors and then our own engine, which is a lot of work, and then the APIs and everything, the documentation and so on. What we would want to do is to expose 3GS more directly, so that people can reuse tutorials from 3GS and various resources, and we can focus on building just the editors and the app, and maybe less work on the engine side. Okay. Will you finish the demo this evening? It looks like it will be hard. We will try to have at least correct movement with collisions, I think, and then we might stop there, I think. Yeah, that will be already pretty long. Yeah, it's 10. It's 40 past 10 right now for us in France. Oh right, I think EarthNote was asking.
Yeah,
if you want to show. It's a pretty cool feature.
you can use the shortcut Ctrl+D to select the next
Occurrence
of the selected of your section. So, and then you have a cursor, and so you can type in both places.
That's a feature of Code Mirror, which you can find in Atom and Sublime Text and so on.
I think you can also place separate cursor with Control left click.
Right, yeah. So you can make multiples wherever you want. And then you can write some shit everywhere. Some shit. Anyway. Okay. Alright. What's next? We need to implement direction?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Let's do that. So we've got our direction, and we should have some movement direction or move direction, let's say. Okay, and so this is the direction that we want to go, and this is the direction that we are actually currently going. Okay. Is there any support for keyboard layout detection? No, because web browsers don't have currently a way to do that. But you can pretty easily support multiple layouts by just using. I should maybe get one of those. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways. Anyway, yeah, and of course it's also possible to build some sort of settings menu where you let people configure stuff. Property was key just press down does not exist on type of input. Okay, the first letter should be lowercase, so W should be lowercase w. Okay, so now let's say we want to move down. So let's start by just going in the direction that we set. Okay, so we'll do if move direction is down, then this dot move x move y. Right. Yeah, okay. I should probably start by adding position on the behavior right away. So we will need to store our own position, like so. So it should be a vector 2 because we only want x and y. We don't need to move in the third dimension. And we're going to grab our actor's initial position when the game starts. Okay. To do that, we will do actor.getPosition, and then we need to convert it to a vector 2 because getPosition, as you can see here, maybe returns a vector 3. And we only care about, like I said, the x and y. And what we're going to do, I think we should multiply our position by 10, so our coordinates, so that we always work with integers, and we can allow changing direction only when it's a multiple of 10, something like that. Yeah, because if we work with floats, we're gonna have all kinds of issues with precision and so on. So we should work with integers. So what we will do is we will multiply our position by 2. To do that, since it's an object, this is a vector with an x and y property. We want x and y. Oh, not 2, yeah, 10. All right, yeah, okay. I don't know what I was thinking. But Alright, so this means I will have this .position.x, which initially will be equal to 135, and y will be equal to 80. Alright, so that's just what the values will be because we are grabbing them from the scene. And so now what we can do is, when our move direction is down, we will update our stored position, and we will remove 1 from it. So that's down. I should probably put them in the same order. So right will be x plus 1, left x minus 1, up will be y plus 1, and y minus 1 for down. Okay. Now this position is just a variable. It doesn't affect our actor, so we need to then update our actor position by doing this .actor.setPosition, and we will pass our position as a parameter to set position. So maybe I should store. So this is for in order put some comments. This is these 4 blocks let us change our desired direction. Let's say I should probably rename this. Like this does not work. Okay. Let's call it desired direction and then move direction. Okay. And then we can apply our current movement direction and then update our actor's position. Yeah, I guess that does it.
We have to divide it by 10.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so just before that, what's a scalar? A scalar is just another name for a regular number. Okay, so like a vector is a number with multiple components, like it's dot x, dot y, dot z, and so on. And a scalar is just the name you give to a regular number when you are contrasting it with a vector. So the function multiply scalar means multiply this vector by a scalar number, by a regular number. Okay, and it will multiply each component, the x, the y. Hello, Eowindil. How are you? I'm gonna die right now. Anyway, so we need to set our position, but we cannot use our position directly because it's multiplied by 10. And if we were to multiply scalar 0.1, we would be modifying our stored position, so we don't want to do that. So what we probably want to do is just do it like this, I think.
You can just give 2 parameters without having to...
Oh yeah, right. That's simpler. So there are many ways to use set position. They are called overloads, but yeah, it's different ways to call it. So the first one, you're supposed to give some kind of vector with 3 components, but you can also why isn't this working? Alright, okay, yeah. Or you can give 3 numbers, or you can give just a vector 2, or you can give 2 numbers, and we will be using the last variant here, the last overload. Okay. Yeah, we could have called this scale even because it scales the vector, but multiply scalar. I think we used the name from 3GS. Yeah. It's not that bad. Okay, so this did we set our game yet? Okay, we're playing game development. That's okay.
That's so fun.
Woo! Game development, best game ever. So now my character is moving down, as you can probably see. But when I press my various keys, I'm changing the desired direction. I'm not changing the move direction. So this currently has absolutely no bearing on what is going on. So we need to check if we can change direction. So on va plutôt dire. Oh, I don't know why I suddenly spoke French here. I think I spoke French because I was writing English at the same time and my brain just exploded. Anyway, so we set our desired direction, and then we're going to check if we can change direction, and then apply our movement. So the only time when we can change direction is when we are at the center of a tile. We can't just well, I don't know if that's true, because I think you can reverse direction at any point. But if you want to turn left or right relative to where you are looking, then you need to be exactly on a tile, I think. Yep. The rest of the presentation will continue in French. Ok, alors c'est parti. Donc le français c'est vachement bien. Ok, let's keep it in English. So how should we do this? We should I think if we want to turn left or right, then we need to make sure that the X position is perfectly aligned. And if we want to turn up or down, then we need to check that the Y, or maybe I mix them up, but
Yeah.
you get the idea, I think. So, okay. If our desired direction is currently right or left, let's say, since I think the logic will be the same for left or right. Maybe not for collision. Let's do them each with their own condition. So if my desired direction is right, then I should check that our X position is a multiple of 10. And to do that, we can use the modulo operator, which basically returns the remainder of a division. So I will check that X modulo 10, so the remainder of X divided by 10 is equal to 0. And it is only true when X is like 10, 20, 30, and so on. So when 10 is perfect, when X is perfectly aligned with one of our tiles. So if that is the case, then we can update our move direction and put it to our desired direction. Okay. So let's check if that works. I'll just duplicate it 4 times for the 4 directions. So for up we need to use Y, and for down we need to use Y too. Okay. Let's apply the changes and try things out. Why 2 sets of if statement? Can't you just set the desired direction and then do this position assignment? So the reason we are doing it in multiple steps is precisely because of how Pac-Man works. In Pac-Man you can't just turn around in the middle of a tile, right? So you have a move direction, which is the current actual direction that your character is moving in. And you've got a desired direction, which is the last key you pressed, basically. The last direction you as the player pressed. But if I'm in a corridor and I press up, my character will keep going left until there's an opening, which allows me to go up. So we need to store those 2 separate pieces of state. And then our desired direction, let's say I just pressed up, my desired direction will be up, but my move direction will still be left. Okay, and 60 times a second, the code will be checking whether I'm now finally aligned with the tile and if I can move up. Okay, does that make a bit of sense? Hopefully, let's check if it works at all. Okay, so I can't turn left or right, but I can do up and down. So, great success. I feel like I probably inverted them. Yeah. Okay. So it should be X for right and left, and Y for up and down. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay. So now I'm always moving on the tiles, but there's no collision with the map itself. So at least I'm aligned with the various tiles, but we still need to implement some collision detection. All right. Maybe I should copy and paste this into a paste bin so that I don't know if everyone has been. I don't know how many people are following along, but if you are and you are falling behind. Here's the script. All right, on Pastebin, TypeScript is actually called TypoScript, and it is a typo, which is pretty funny. So let's say Superpowers Pac-Man player behavior 1. So it's not finished, but you can copy that if you want. Okay, so the next step is to check for collisions before changing direction. So being aligned with a tile is not enough. We also need to check that that it is actually possible to move into that direction. So I'm thinking we should actually not initialize the move direction to down, because we are in between two tiles and it will be complicated to check if we can move or not. So let's initialize move direction to nothing. Let's just declare that it's a string, but we won't give it any value initially. And
why is it a problem to check if we can?
Because I think we will only need to check for collisions in this block of code, and if we do it like that, then we have an invalid move direction at the beginning, and it's the only case where we do.
No, we have to check also there, because
oh right, yeah, at some point we will hit walls. Yeah, I'm dumb. Okay, yeah, okay, so let's keep it that way. Okay. Goodbye. So we should start by checking for collisions during the actual movement code, and then we will do it also when we want to change direction. So before allowing myself to go down, I should check whether there is some tile below me. Okay. So I'm gonna get. We should probably do a separate function just for that, which will be like. So this is just dream code for now. I would do something like if can move in this direction. So I don't want to move on X, but I want to move one down on Y. Then then we can do it. Okay, but this function does not exist, and we should actually create it. So we'll define it here, and it takes a number and another number, well, for each. We'll call them move X and move Y, maybe. But we can define a collision layer. No, yes, we could if we wanted to use Arcade Physics 2D, but for a game like Pac-Man, you want to have very precise collisions, and Arcade Physics 2D is more like a little physics engine, and so you can't guarantee that everything will end up as integers and so on. So I think it's best to do our own little, very simple collision detection system. Alright, so we should compute our new position. So basically, I can move left or right. So if move X is different from 0, I can only move if this .position.y is a multiple of 10. Because I need, in order to move left or right, I need to be aligned with the other axis. So I'm gonna take this line of code, and we will say if we are not aligned on a perfect tile, then we can't move. So we leave the function right away by returning false. Okay. Now we've got another check to do, which is I should use. So this means different. Okay, and it's best practice to always use the variant with 2 equals rather than 1, for reasons I'm not going to go into right now. But if you want to know, just ask. So now on the other axis, we need to check that we are aligned on the x-axis. So this will prevent moving if we are not perfectly aligned. Now, once this is done, we can look at which tile we are going to enter and if it's empty or not. So, in order to do that, we should convert back from our position multiplied by 10, and we will divide it by 10. Yeah, okay. And we will use the floor function, which is basically it gets rid of everything after the dot, so we only keep the integer number. So we will do this for x and y. And now we've got some coordinates that we can actually use to look into our tile map and see if there's a wall or not. Okay. So in order to access the tile map, we need to get a reference to it. We could be getting it right here, like so, by using sup.getActor to get the map, and then access its tile map render component, which is this stuff here, and then get the tile map itself. But doing this all the time, 60 times a second, will be a little bit expensive performance-wise. So we should just store this in a variable and reuse it. So I will declare a tile map variable here. And in our awake function, which again is only called once, we will get our tile map and store it in our variable. And then all the way down here, we can remove this and just use our tile map. And so we've got a bunch of functions here on the tile map, and the one we are interested in is get tile at, which accepts 3 arguments: the layer we want to check, and then the tile coordinates. So layer 0, we should probably rename it in walls. Yes. Okay. So we want to access the layer number 0, and we want to check which tile is located in tile X, tile Y. And now I'm just realizing that I forgot to add our movement. Okay, so we need, of course, to apply our movement, otherwise we're not checking anything, really. So this should do it. And actually, we should do that after dividing by 10. Because we want to check the tile that we are going to enter and not the one we are in, right?
No, it doesn't.
How should it work? Like, let's say I'm in 11 and I want to know if I can go in 10. And 10 corresponds to 1. Okay? So maybe I'm not quite at the end of my so you're right. I think we should add it, and then it's okay. And then when I'm in 10, I want to go into 9, and 9 rounded down divided by 10 will be 0, and then I can't go. So it should work for here. Now let's say I'm at the other end of the level, so I would be in 269. And I want to go one more, and okay, you're right. So we should just
no, when we are going right, we have to check one.
Oh right, yeah.
Box tile further because.
Yeah, okay, true. So we need to add 9. Or add 1 to the final result.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay. So, like, I mean, okay. think I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna store it right here, and if we are going to the right, then we will add 10.
Yes.
Makes actually I think we should add 9 because we should be able. Okay,
It's
yeah.
even, 10 plus
Okay,
1.
yeah, I shouldn't use const here. But if we are going negative, then we should remove just 1. Because
I think it's 11 when you're.
you think that's
Yeah.
11?
10 is the offset of the.
Yeah, but
the width of the player.
yeah, but I should be able to go in 260, even though let's say I'm in 259. Okay. If I add 11 to that, I will be checking this box already.
Yeah, but if you have in 259, it's the left, so you are already there. Because your origin is there.
Right. Yeah, okay. So I should. Yeah, okay. So 11? Okay, we'll see.
I think
Yeah, okay, you might be right.
the origin is 0 when you look on the left, and the origin is plus 10 when you look on the right. And then you always have plus 1 or minus 1, depending on where you look.
Okay.
I see.
Okay, so yes, we are dividing by 10 because we decided that we would be moving by 1/10 of a tile every time we move, and we want to always work with integers values for the positions because it's how to say it? Because floating numbers are sometimes not exact. So, for instance, you've all seen this little fun trick where if in JavaScript, so this is a JavaScript console, okay? If I do 0.1 plus 0.2, I get 0.30004. And that's not a quirk of JavaScript itself, it's a quirk of how floating point numbers work. So you'll get the same mistake in C++, C, C#, or whatever language you're using, as long as you are using floating point numbers. So floating point numbers are not exact most of the time because of the way they are stored. They are stored in base 2 anyway. So we would have all sorts of problems if we were using floating point numbers. So we are multiplying everything by 10 and doing all of our calculations with that, and then when we are ready to go back to our actual scene units, then we will convert back by dividing by 10. Okay. That's one of the, I think, one of the big trap of programming that most people don't know initially, and you get bitten by it, and then at some point you finally stumble upon why it's like so. If you want to look it up, you can look up IEEE floating point. That's the actual name for floating point arithmetic, which is a standard by the IEEE, I think. And you've got all the explanations and lots of cool stuff, but yeah, we're not gonna go into that right now. Okay, so tile X and tile Y, this should be our pose X and pose Y divided by 10 after being updated. Okay, and we will see if this is the correct calculation. Maybe, maybe not. And now we've got our tile.
Do you trust me?
I don't know. I trust you completely, so completely, with my life. But maybe not with my programming. I don't know. we will see. And so we need to check. Get tile at will return the ID of the tile. Okay, so if I hide the other layer. This tile is, you can see the IDs of each tile in the tileset editor. So this is like tile number 856. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna learn those numbers very fast if we do many streams. I don't know if I don't think integers are faster nowadays than floating point numbers, because basically your CPU has special wiring just for floating points, and it's very fast. So I think integers and floating points are like the same in terms of number of clock cycles used. I'm not entirely sure, and it might depend on various operations and stuff like that, but basically floating points are used everywhere, so they have been optimized in the hardware to be fast. So it's a lot more about whether you are okay with unexact results, and you need to be very aware of compound errors. Like if you do one calculation with two floats, and then you do another calculation and another, you might have errors that add up, and in the end your results might be very wrong. But for many things, floats are great. Like for complex Newtonian physics and stuff like that, you just have to build the engine so that it is resilient to such problems. But when you are using a tile map and you need very precise movement, it's much better to just use integers. Okay, yeah. Floating numbers are not stored as two integers. They are actually stored as a power of 2 for the. Well, anyway, I don't know the details anymore, and you can read stuff if you want. But it's very interesting, pretty complicated, and that's why it's a bit weird. All right. So what I was saying is that we will get from getTileAt, we will get a number, which will be some number in the 800 or so. But if we are getting the tile here, this will return -1, because that's a special value that we return when there are no tiles. And since this is all empty, we will get -1. So basically, if the tile is equal to -1, then we can go through it. Otherwise, we can't. So we will return true if it is equal to -1, and false otherwise. Okay, this could be written as just this line. It's a bit simpler, but it's less readable, so I will leave it like that. Okay. Maybe I will do, if it's different from -1, then you can't move, and so that we have always can't move, and then at the end, if you have passed all the challenges, then you are free to move. Okay, so now we've got our little can move function, which is not that small actually, but it should do the job, and then we can use it everywhere to double check whether we can go forward or not. So before moving down, we check that we can move down. Before moving up, we check that we can move up. Before moving left, we'll check too. And before moving right, we'll check that too. Right, and so here we can replace these tests with can move too, actually, because they do. Oh, sorry. They do the same checks as we did before with the modulo operator, and they do everything we need. So there's no reason not to use them. What am I doing? Okay. So this should be up is 1, down is -1, and then oh right, okay, yeah. Plus and minus, plus minus, okay. Let's finish this. I will share the code with everyone again in a minute, so that you can look at it as much as you need. Oh, thank. Oh, yes, an attack saw it too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
That's why.
Yeah, it's true. In JavaScript, there's no concept of integers and floats. Everything is actually a float, and the integer part of a float is always stored. Well, at least for small enough numbers, it's always exact. So you don't have to worry about the integers part. All right. Should be good. Well, we are back to before we had anything at all.
Nice.
Great job, great job. Okay, let's check what's going on. So we are going to use the debugger to try and figure out why it's not working. It's a very interesting exercise. So if you have never used a debugger before, now's your chance to look at how it works. So we're gonna go in the source tab of the debugger of the development tools. Again, to open the development tools, you can press F12, and then you should find a directory, a folder with your game, with the name of your game, and inside it you should find a script that has the same name as your behavior. So let's see. Okay, I'm gonna do it here and hide this pane, and now we've got everything. Great. Okay. So I'm gonna double check that I am actually changing my direction by putting a breakpoint on this line. Okay, inside of the, well, let's put it up there first, and then we can put it there. So a breakpoint basically will stop the game when it is reached. So the program is executed line by line, obviously, inside a function. And at some point you will reach this line. Currently it's not being reached because this condition is never true, and this one either. But if I press right, you can see the game has frozen. The character is no longer playing his animation, and this line is now highlighted. And I can now look at all the variables, their values. So I can hover here and watch the various values. I can see my position, and etc. And I can step one line at a time, which is pretty cool. So let's see what happens now. So I just pressed right. Okay, so for now this line has not yet been executed. So desired direction is still equal to down. I will step one line down, and now desired direction has a value of right. Now this condition won't be true, so we step over its block, and this one either, this one either, and now we get here. So desired direction is right, so it should be equal to right. Let's look at what happens now. Yep. And now we are going to call our canMove function and maybe do this. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna step over this function call because I want to see what happens inside of canMove. So in order to do that, I will use step into next function call, which will just enter the function. So much more user-friendly than GDB in the console. Yes. I don't know how people can use a text-based debugger. It's horrible. The dev tools are really great, both in Firefox and Chrome, and they are doing a great job with this. And it's very cool because we can reuse those inside of Superpowers. Thanks to Electron. Anyway, so let's step into canMove. We are there now. And you can see Chrome loves us very much. So he even printed for us the values of the arguments right here.
That's one thing.
Oh, right. Okay. So that's why it was right here in front of our eyes. But basically, you can see I'm testing as if I wanted to move up, up. But actually, we want to move right. So I should not be trying to move one on the x-axis. I should be checking on the I should not be checking on the y-axis, I should be checking on the left axis. So we just found our bug, but let's look what happens. So this is not different from 0, this is different from 0. And so we're going to step into this. There are shortcuts for this, keyboard shortcuts. So F10 goes to the next line, F11 goes into the next function call. So I'll just step over this. And basically right now we are at 135. So modulo 10 we can open up with escape a little console here and look at the result. This returns 5 because if I divide 135 by 10 I get 13 but with a remainder of 5. So this is different from 0 and as such we will return false and I can't move. And so I will jump right back to here and this line, this instruction is never executed and so that's why I can't turn. So we are gonna fix this by typing in the right numbers. Sounds good. This one and this one are okay and those look good also. Alright, so I'll just reopen the debugger right away just to check what's going on and show that it works. It should work, but alright. So desired direction, it was down, now it is right. Then we are stepping over all those things and we are entering this. We go into can move. Can move is different. Move x is different from 0 and 80 is a multiple of 10, so this won't be executed. We don't leave the function early. This is also good, and so as such we will continue to move on. And now we are going to check whether Bilu's collision code collision numbers are correct. So we are in 135 plus 11. We are now in 146. This shouldn't move. And we are going to convert that into tile numbers. So we will look at tile 14, 9. Let's look at in the map. We are looking at this tile, which sounds good. So yeah, okay. So this should return -1, and as such we can move. So our character should be able to move to the right, and we just reached the right. So now what I'm wondering is, okay, yeah, this looks like it works. I just want to double check if we end up on the correct value here. This is the position. We end on 209. We should end on 210, right? So I was actually right. I love this. This is so good. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Is we are actually in 0, and the sprite goes from 0 to 9, and that's 10 values actually. And so we need to go -1 and only +10 on the other end. Maybe this won't work either. We'll see. Okay. So now, what's my position? Yeah, okay, I'm not there yet. So I'll remove the breakpoint, add it back, and we are at the correct coordinates, I think. So I should be able to go down and up. Yeah, okay, this works. Oh, you know what? I don't know if you figured it out, hurt notes, but maybe you just needed to click into the game window. Make sure not to click in the black area, because I just realized we are losing focus here. And so you need to make sure to click once in the middle of the window to have some correct focus. That might have been your issue, which would be pretty sad, because it's I just should have thought of that. I think that might have been a bug we introduced recently too.
No, it's very old.
Very old? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we should.
There is no canvas there. So
Yeah, but maybe we should. I don't know If we click on the body, then we should redirect
Yeah.
The focus on the canvas. You know what? Let's create an issue for that. So, what should we say?
Fuck.
When clicking on va dire runtime, when clicking on the body, refocus the canvas automatically. I am a bear. Okay, all right. So anyway, right now it looks like we have proper Pac-man-like controls. As you can see, I can press a button and it will change direction much later because we have this desired direction system and we are moving with proper collisions and everything. So that's pretty good. And I think we will stop here for tonight because it's been 2 hours and a half. And we will come back another time. I don't know, maybe we should... when do you leave? Saturday morning?
Yes.
Yeah? Alright. Maybe tomorrow night, I don't know. It would be cool, yeah, to finish things up. Okay, so let's say we will meet again tomorrow night right here on Twitch, and we will implement picking up coins and ghosts if we find the time. We'll see, as much as possible. If we don't manage to do that, we will finish the game maybe off stream and put it up on GitHub so that you can look at the source and change it however you want. Okay. Looks pretty good. By the way, how come you are on Twitch now? We thought it might be a better idea to move to Twitch because there's a much bigger game development community there, and more people have Twitch accounts than Hitbox accounts. So we thought if we're gonna move to English, let's also move to Twitch. Yeah, it makes more sense, I guess. The delay should not be too bad. I don't know how you felt it, but it seems like we can interact pretty well. So yeah.
You have to say beer in 3 seconds.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Beer.
Beer or bear?
Both.
Both.
I like both.
Oh yeah, I'll pay spin it. That's that looks pretty long. Beer, alright. Yeah, okay, so maybe
10, 15.
15 at least.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it's alright, it's alright.
Yeah.
So player behavior 2 Pac-Man, Superpowers Pac-Man player behavior 2. Alright. Okay, so see you tomorrow night. Have a good night. And hopefully this was fun. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.
See you later.
Great. Okay.